What is up, ladder climbers? This is Antoine Wade, six-figure earner and millionaire. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I went from making $48,000 a year to over $300,000 a year in my professional career as a management information systems major. Welcome back to the Black Heights channel, where we talk about all things related to the skill development in the IT sector. Now, before we get to the video, guys, do me a stone cold favor and stomp on that like button, as it helps us grow the channel. And guys, I'm just going to share with you this. It did not take an overnight move or one move in order for me to jump my salary from $48,000 a year to $300,000 a year. It actually took me 15 years. So there's no quick way that you can go from $48,000 a year to $300,000 a year. You have to put in the work, you have to put in the time, and you have to be good at what you do. But the good thing for you in this video, I'm going to share with you a shortcut on how you can get promoted really fast in the roles that you're currently in, or the roles that you may be in the near future, so that you can grow your salary. And this is going to come pretty much in the middle of the video, so stick around so I can give you these tips. I'm going to show you the different roles that I had, starting from the first role that I was in after graduating college, which was a management information systems major and a computer science minor. So let's start with that one. So my first role out of college was a software engineer role, making about $48,000 a year. Yes, that was my first role in the corporate world. And guys, all I did in this role was wrote application code that really complied with the company and the project standards. And I was responsible for documenting internal and external changes or modifications to the programs that I was responsible to support. My next role, guys, my next role came at about 1 year and 3 months, where I was actually promoted to a senior software engineer. And I went from making $48,000 a year to $59,000 a year. And I was in this role for about 1 year and 10 months. And guys, I did the exact same thing as I did as a software engineer, but I got additional responsibilities, such as looking over other people's code, as well as mentoring the software engineers that was coming to the company. My next role came at about 1 year and 5 months after that. I became a master software engineer, so a level 3 software engineer, or a senior software engineer in some companies, however you want to explain it. But in this role, I was making $71,000 a year. And I was only in this role for 1 year and 5 months. As you guys see, I was in a lot of these roles for only 1 year at the max, 1.5 years. And I was able to grow my salary from 48K all the way to 71K in these positions. And here's the thing. I wanted to make 6 figures early in my career, and my mindset was to get to 6 figures as fast as possible, doing whatever job that I needed to get to, and also mapping my career path out to get to that number. My next role after a master software engineer was to a project lead. Some of you guys may know this role as a technical lead, a project manager, a program manager, a technical project manager, whatever you want to call it. It was the same exact role. And in this role, I was making about 89K. So I went from making 71K to about 89K in a matter of 1 year. Now, here's the thing. I was in this role for about 2 years and 3 months. And it was a great role for me because I was just getting into the management area. I was responsible for other engineers, but not just the engineers. I was responsible for people in QA, and I was responsible for project managers as well too. So I took on a more leadership role in this sort of a role. I also was responsible for the entire project. So if there's 5 different sections of a project, I was responsible for it all, the resources and managing it, making sure that it came in on time and the go lives were on time. So this was a big increase, and I was in this role, like I said, for about 2 years and 3 months. And when I came into the role, I was making about $89,000 a year. And when I left that role after 2.5 years, or 2 years and 3 months, I was at $103,000 a year. Then I said, guys, I am done with the implementation services part of my career, and I want to go do something else. I want to take on more of a leadership role. I want to take on more of a role where I don't have the expertise to improve my management experience. So what did I do then? I went to a role called Manager of Support Services, responsible for the support organization. So before, I was doing the implementations of their projects. Now I'm responsible for the people responding to the programs that I've implemented, and also to the customers who have issues. So I was the guy. It basically took me from a technical hands-on role to a managerial role, responsible for a lot of team members, who was responsible for supporting the code and responding back to customers. And I was in this role for about a year, guys, and my salary at that point in time was $103,000 a year. I was responsible for 41 engineers at that point in time, and that was across America, India, and China. I then moved into a role of a senior support services manager, making $117K, guys. There wasn't a big jump from the manager support services at $103,000 a year to a senior manager support services at $117,000 a year. There wasn't a massive jump in salary there, but I was able to get to that role within the matter of a year. So in a year, it's not too bad, I guess I would say. But I was in this role for about 6 months, right? And I had the same responsibilities as I had before, but I was a more experienced manager, demonstrating that I had the skill set to continue to deliver a high level of customer service, customer satisfaction for the company, and for the employees that I was responsible for managing. I then moved into a director of global customer services, where I was making about $122,000 when I first came into the role. And then by the time that I left the role, or I was done and I was promoted to my next role, I was making about $129,000 a year. And guys, I was more of a senior manager, a senior leader at this point in time, responsible for the entire organization I was responsible for before, but also I was able to give a lot more feedback back to the senior level VPs, our executive staff, and stuff like that. So this was the role where I didn't see myself growing again within the company that I was at. There was a manager that was above me who was a VP, and I wanted that VP title. So I decided that I wanted to go back to school to get my master's in business administration in the management of technology. And this was a really good move for me, because I was then able to get promoted again, or really sign on with another company, being the VP of customer success and global support, making about $166,000 a year. So that was a major jump for me, guys. So after I got my MBA, I went from $129,000 a year all the way up to $166,000 a year. My last role was area sales director, making about $174,000 a year, guys. And the way how you can get to a $300,000 salary is you have to be in sales. You really do have to be in sales and be on a commission plan plus a base salary plan as well. Software sales is the area where you can make a lot of money if you're in the tech industry. And I've always been in the tech industry, which is the reason why my salary has been quite high. I now want to share with you how I was able to get promoted in each one of these roles. You guys seen the progression. You guys seen how fast I was able to rapidly climb the ladder. And I'm going to give you one tip right now. And then if you want additional tips, you can just book a coaching session with me. I can coach you into how you can actually climb the ladder relatively fast with your soft skills and your negotiation skills as well too. The most important tip that helped me advance my career in the corporate world, guys, it was the ability for me to ask what is good in the role to my manager that was above me. So for instance, as a software engineer, one of the things that I did was talk to my manager when I became a software engineer and ask the question of, what is a good software engineer? What do you consider to be a good software engineer? What are the metrics behind a good software engineer? And I was able to objectively assess what it was that made a good software engineer, whether that was coming in on time, whether that was delivering code at a certain amount of time, whether that was delivering code that was bug free. I was able to objectively talk to my manager about this, and I was able to deliver on each one of those objectives. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor and leave me a comment on any of these points. Also, if you want to learn more, do book a coaching session with me. You can find the link in the description of this video. Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed to this channel and you like this sort of content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be alerted when I drop that new content. And until next time, y'all, peace.